Just like we have safety drills at school or at work, where if there's a fire, God forbid, stop, drop, and roll, or if there's an earthquake, what is the protocol you use? Which exit do you go out of? How do you behave? Same way, we have to have drills in place about how to deal if pornography ever pops up on your computer or your phone or whatever. What we told our kids was the first thing you do if pornography is ever to pop up in front of you, and we told them that something may pop up that looks weird to you. Just something that you're like, wait, I wasn't looking for that. That wasn't the website I was going for. That's not the image I was searching. You'll just know, you'll have this voice in your head, and that voice is coming to you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's coming from the angels warning you that that feels weird. The first thing you do is you lower your gaze. You close the laptop, or you turn off the computer, or you unplug, whatever. You get it out of your vision. And it's interesting because at Elm Tree, my homeschooling co-op, one of the moms there is a marriage and family therapist. And she told us that they worked with sex offenders at one time in her training who were in prison. And she said they were taught as therapists to teach these sex offenders that if anything was ever to pop up or come in their sight, the first thing they have to do is look away. The first thing they have to do is to get it out of their sight of vision. Which is really, it shows you the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us to say? He tells us to lower the gaze, right? So lowering the gaze, there's real benefit in that. It's not just like, oh, we're so nervous we can't look at anything. There's actually a protection of the heart and the soul of getting something out of your vision that is haram. And we told our kids that the first glance that is by mistake is a freebie. But after that, if you look again, that's when the angels start recording. You have to be really mindful of not going back to something that felt weird or uncomfortable. The first thing is look away. The second thing we teach our kids is to immediately say out, and we tell them that these are words of power. These are not magic words. It's not mumbo jumbo. You have to know that when pornography or something like that pops up in front of you, you are in a shaitani environment. You're in the presence of shaitan, and you need protection. And the only one who can protect you is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ourselves have no power. So you immediately call on Allah's help for his help. It was very, very validating to me because I gave this talk at a Zaytuna College event up north. And there were, after I was done giving my talk, Sheikh Hamza Yusuf gave his talk, his presentation, which was on the danger of the current media that's out there in the world. And he was not there when I gave my presentation. He arrived later for his talk. So he didn't hear anything I said. But when he got up on stage and he had a whole PowerPoint presentation and he went through all the different things that are out there in the world and how we need to deal, all of a sudden in his PowerPoint he came to a black screen, and in the middle of the black screen in white letters it said "Audhu," and he talked about the exact same thing. He said you need to rely on this and you need to use these words often. And so that was very validating to hear from the friend who's a therapist that even in non-Muslim studies, this is what they're teaching, is to lower the gaze and look away, and then to learn from the shuyukh that we have to rely on A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem. The third thing we told our kids after lowering the gaze and saying A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem is you need to immediately go and tell an adult. No matter what time of day it is, you need to go get help. You need to go let an adult know what's going on. Because many times what will happen is children will assume that the parents have no idea about pornography. And they'll think this is something I just discovered and I actually need to protect my parents. And so you need to let them know that I know what's going on and you need to come tell me. And so they need to, and they need to know that you're not going to freak out, that you're not going to blame them, that you're actually on their side and you're going to help them.